Cool. There we go.
Did you hit go?
Yeah.
I can see it. Gotta put us up there.
How do we do that? Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
swipe down. You gotta do your thing.
That's right.
Welcome back to a fully prepared First Dibs podcast, live from inside. Tonight we will be playing Fortnite Season 6, Chapter 2. I should have put that in the title. That would have got us 1 million looks.
I hope we're not, because I'm going to be embarrassed.
Well, it just came out.
Okay, good.
My kids are probably playing it right now.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that game.
Yeah, no, this is fun. This is great. We set this up in like 6 minutes.
We're getting better. We're getting better at this. I hear that throat clearing and can opening. Uh-oh. Well, there you go. We're getting ready for you. We got to get the radio voice ready.
Yep. And John has a pair of headphones that are cutting in and
They're
out.
cutting in and out. That's okay. That's nothing new.
But tonight's fun. We started dinner.
Yep.
We had a busy day. I had a busy day. I don't know what you did all day. We've had a busy week. The weather was super crappy this morning, but it turned out really nice late today. And it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. So we're expecting a lot of foot traffic to come through tomorrow.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Are we recording?
Well, we're recording, but Dan is saying my mic sounds like shit.
Oh, wow. Sounds like
it
something
might just be me.
is picking you
Yeah.
up.
Maybe that's better. Well, let's see. So we're supposed to talk about cars, I believe.
Yeah. Are you plugged in?
Yeah? Am I not?
I think you are.
I can hear me. Cars, we just got a Grigio Telesto
Yes.
GT3.
Yes. Winged car.
Wing 2022, 13,000 miles.
Yep.
It sounds like it's off. It's not any better.
What is happening?
Turn me off, turn me back on. There we go. Have I plugged into that? Did you plug that in late?
No.
Unplug that thing and plug it back in. Maybe that'll do it. Maybe the iPad's picking me up. There we go. That dropped to 0. Now it's back. I bet that fixed it.
Maybe.
We probably had the iPad plugged in too early.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We were rushing.
Now that our technical difficulties have been addressed, we have a 992 GT3.
Yes.
Which kind of prompted the conversation that I'd like to have tonight.
Okay.
Just talking about all of our opinions on the GT3 market. Because there's a lot going on.
There's
it
a lot
seems
going on.
But yeah, let's see. So it's a Grigio Telesto paint to sample, ceramic brakes, front lift, gold wheels, manual transmission, bucket seats, 13,000 miles. I got to drive it briefly. And immediately before you even start the car, it reminds you how great it is because of how firm the brake pedal is.
Yes. Nice.
You know, you get in the car, your clutch in, and then you lay your foot on the brake. It didn't fix it. God damn it. Are we even plugged into the back? Well, that's the problem. We're not plugged into the back of this shit. Give me the other side. We had the right diagnosis.
Now we're
Now everyone can actually hear my voice if you're on the YouTubes. Those of you this is why you want to listen to the show and not just watch.
Right.
Thank you guys for being here and present and fixing everything for us. To start over one more time, just so everyone can actually hear us. 992 GT3 in Grigio Telesto.
Right.
Just under 13,000 miles.
Yes.
Manual transmission, bucket seats, front lift, all the right stuff. And it's got a wing, and it's delightful.
It's a beautiful car. RM wheels.
Yeah.
Satin RM wheels.
Yep.
No, Grigio Telesto. I've always known it to be a Lamborghini color. I don't know why that. I think it's just because someone told me that. We had a GT2 RS that was Grigio Telesto.
Yep.
It's a beautiful color. It is really cool. And today wasn't a great day to take a picture of it because there was no sun, for a little,
That's
for
true.
most of the day. But in the sunlight, there's gold in it. Like it's a really cool, like very, very cool color. To your point, as far as I've always stood by, it only takes you 30 yards, 30 feet, to tell how good a car is. And, you're describing just pressing the brake pedal alone.
That's it.
Tells you, wow.
That's all you need to know.
This is a car.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's funny that we're around this stuff so much and that you still pick up on that.
Yeah.
And how the Carreras are great, but the GT is just tuned that little bit different. Everything is that little bit more motorsporty, where you feel it and you touch it and it's like, wow, that's a break. That'll do it. That'll do it right there.
No, exactly.
So that prompted. We also got in a 2016 911R.
Oh, duh.
With 5,500 miles on it. One owner. Lived up in Denver before moving to Arizona with the same owner.
Right.
No transition there.
Right.
It has the correct options.
Yes.
Those cars, the lightweight single mass flywheel is ultra important. That's probably the most important
That's the game changer.
piece. Bucket seats, the tarpon brown
Yes.
interior, ceramic brakes, front lift.
It's white with the red stripes.
Yep.
Car
Kind of
cover.
launch color.
Yep. Matching car cover. It has satin platinum wheels. And that was the one thing doing a walk around of it. If I was trying to,
You would have gone silver?
I don't know. I mean, I love the way that this one is with the satin platinum wheels, but it's for me, the poster car, if you're collecting cars, right?
Yeah.
To put away, forever. I think the car that Porsche, has imagined, as far as making it their poster child, if you will, that's kind of the ideal car to have. And I honestly can't remember if the poster car for the 911R has silver wheels or platinum wheels. I kind of think it has silver wheels, but however, this has everything else. The interior, the white with the red stripes and the script on the side. It's got all the right stuff, right? And like you say, it's a driver's car. Just, by having the a la carte things. I do believe it's very important to have air conditioning in a car.
And the radio.
Radio, absolutely. I mean, AC actually trumps the radio for me.
Yeah, me too.
Just as far as, drivability goes. But no, it was built really, really well. And we know where the car came from. Got a little bit of history with the previous owner. Fantastic, Porsche ambassador, right? So I really, really, really like this car. And I personally feel we definitely deserve to be very proud of this car. And not only where it came from, but, to continue that, we can convey the message, to the next owner as far as where this car came from and how we expect, right, that it be cared for and used in the same fashion that it has been. And we expect it back, right, sometime down the road.
That'd be good.
But no, this is I would definitely put this in my forever garage.
Yep. So that brings us to the kind of the question marks on what, do we have any other cars to talk about?
Nothing really comes to mind.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either. So what, there's for $200,000 to $300,000, obviously it's a huge price spread, but that's kind of where a lot of the newer GT stuff is trading, right? We've got a 2014 GT3 wing car. They were all wing cars. PDK car. They were all PDK
Right.
cars for that generation. Delightful car. That's my word.
Yeah.
And that's 130 grand, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So from there all the way on up to the R for 500 grand. You've got all this different nuance in the cars. And I was talking with our buddy Ryan Barkey. He
Yeah.
dropped off the gin with us, and
Yeah.
we were talking about how the R is a lot of money, and why don't you just buy a GT3 Touring? And I think the reason that neither of us are going to do that is that we don't make enough fucking money. Because if you had the choice, what would you pick? Money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
991 GT3 or an R.
Oh, an R.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Right? And
Single mass flywheel.
single
R.
mass flywheel. Yep. And I don't really care about the color combo. It's an
Yeah.
R. I'd take whatever. But the hood, the carbon hood with the little scallop
Yeah.
in it, the magnesium
Yep.
roof,
Skin roof.
I just that's it to me. And I think beyond the fact that all the journalists say the driving experience is like that little bit more fun than any of the other GT stuff. The other ones are all very serious, but the R is just that kind of playful, fun one. That's a really significant car in the world of Porsche, I think.
Yeah.
Because they developed a transmission, a 6-speed manual transmission for that car. And the GT3 and the RS at that point were PDK only.
Right.
So it was kind of Porsche's commitment to following through and continuing to offer manuals
Yeah.
for the enthusiast.
Right.
Right. And, we're at another crossroads right now with the GTS, the Carrera S, the Carrera.
Yep.
Those are all PDK only. So,
Yes.
we need a refresh.
The new ones.
The new ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 992.2 generation. So we're at kind of another crossroads where Porsche needs to recommit
Yeah.
to manuals. And the T,
Yeah.
they've
the
done
T-
that. And the new GT3 and the ST and those cars, they're ready. But we're ready for something
Sure.
else, Porsche.
Right.
So,
I do love that the T, the current, the .2 T is manual only.
yeah, me too. I think it's great.
And I've had the conversation with multiple people as far as the previous generation's T, you could tell that they wanted you to build it a certain way. By the way that when you option the car with a manual versus when you option the car with a PDK, some changes that would have to be made. And I think it really was. It was trying to steer people as far as you need to order this car with a manual transmission to have it the right way. Well, anyway, so obviously not enough people were getting that message. And so Porsche decided to change it and say, like, you know what?
Yeah.
Rather than try and steer people, we're just going to tell people this is the only way you can have it. I love that. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. So I'd love to drive the new one.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Someday. Someday down the road.
Right. Have to go put a new one, like put gas in it.
There's somebody that has one on order. And I'm pretty sure if we put 1,000 miles on it before he comes to pick it up, there's not much he can do.
We have a few on order.
Well, I know, but there's one in particular that I'm thinking about. It's a nice color combo. I think, we could take it up to Aspen,
Oh, yeah.
try Independence Pass and back,
Yeah. I like it.
just see how that works.
Now's the time of year, John. You got to do your veil run for Coco.
I know. I wanted to do it for Valentine's Day, but that's when Isla got her first new medicine shot, so we
Right,
couldn't
yeah.
do it. So,
Yeah.
so we'll just keep talking about it. Forever a planner.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do around here.
Full of ideas.
So back to GT3 stuff.
Yes.
So I got in trouble when Porsche audited our emails. It was a mystery shop for, we had a Carmine Red 991.2 GT3 Touring.
Oh, wow.
And I did a video and I sent information about it and everything. And in that, I said that the 991.2 is a prettier car than the 992s.
Okay. You got in trouble for that.
Well, I didn't actually get in trouble, but when they were critiquing my response, that was something that they were like, why are you talking down on our product? Like, I'm not. I'm just saying it's prettier.
Right?
Right?
It's the same product.
I still love it. You know, I love the 992, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I think that car is prettier. So, and I think the difference between a Touring and a GT3 on the 991 platform is smaller than the difference on the 992 platform.
Okay, so break this down though for the commoners that don't understand our language.
Sure. Okay. 991 generation is 2012 for the Carrera S through 2019.
Yes.
There was a split in the middle. In 2016 to 2017 is when you go from the 991.1 to the 991.2.
Right.
Same basic body shape, same basic interior, updates to infotainment, update to engines, brakes, I think stay exactly the same. Well, maybe not. But
They got smaller.
It's subtle, subtle changes. It's not like the big generational change going from the 991 in 19 to the 992 in 2020. And then the difference between the GT3 would be a winged car, and then the GT3 Touring would delete the wing off the back and go to the active aero setup that a Carrera would have.
And in the 991 version, Touring was an option,
Correct.
whereas in the 992, it's a model,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder what that really did. I guess it limited production and it let them.
Yeah.
Then Porsche got to mandate how many of each were made rather than just getting it to pick.
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as to put it in perspective for time frame, right, going back to when to current.
Yep. Good point. So in my opinion, the 991 generation, while there was a difference in the aerodynamics of the two, part of going to the 992 generation was it felt like the car got more track focused
To the 992?
to the 992 than the 991. I mean, obviously the 991 generation cars, it's a GT3, it's a track toy that you can drive on the street. But with the big swan neck rear wing, with the full, more aero, more downforce,
Right.
the independent wishbone front suspension, the different nostrils up front. To me, aerodynamics and track performance were more exaggerated in that car than they were in the 991.
Sure. Yes.
And then to take the wing off of a 992, in my mind, there's more of a sacrifice you're making there between the two cars than there is between a 991 wing versus Touring.
Right. Because the Touring in the 991.1 received a gurney flap, which is just a little piece.
991.2.
Yeah, received a gurney flap, which is just a little piece of plastic, more or less, that runs along the deployable spoiler.
And I think the spoiler goes up a little higher. Like
it does.
It goes up an
It
extra
goes
5
up
degrees
more.
or something. But
Yeah. But to your point though, the fixed wing GT3, it's a fixed wing, and then the Touring, it has a deployable wing.
Yep.
Right. Even on the GT3, just like the regular Carrera has the wing. And fun fact, right? As far as, do you know why the spoilers are always down? I mean, do you know why they have the deployable wing on the car?
I'm going to let you answer that because I don't know what you're trying to get at.
The Porsche designers and engineers, designers more or less, they do not like the look of a raised spoiler or wing. They like the look, it's the organic shape of the car should be nice and organic, right? It's
Well-
if you were to put a fan in front of an ice cube and let the fan blow on the ice cube, do you know what shape it would make?
Porsche 911.
Just nice and round.
Oh.
Right. Just nice air just goes up and it just makes it nice and bubbly. Well, they like the look and the shape. And the only reason that they have the deployable spoiler is for function. right? And that's the aerodynamics as far as stability control, all that kind of stuff. And so that's why it's always from day one, the deployable side of it, they do not like the look, the aesthetic appeal of a raised spoiler. So the wings, they have to kind of put a lot of thought into that as far as to make it kind of a sexy, look appeal to it. But to them, they would much rather have it just flat, in the back. So anyway, I think you do. I think you lose a little bit by being the Touring. But at the same time, when you're driving a Touring, you're also admitting that you're not really into the track scene, right?
Yeah.
You want the performance as far as the power, goes for the car.
In the feel.
And the feel.
To
and
me,
the
a
sound.
GT3 is more about the feel and
Yeah.
the sound than it is
Yeah.
the power.
But you don't necessarily want the function of the car. Does that make sense? That to me, it's you are a city dweller. Like you drive it around because it's cool. It sounds good.
I think
you got
your-
all the stuff.
I think your words are close.
but you're not going to the racetrack. with it.
Yeah, I think you're not going for the 10/10ths drive to beat your buddy on the
Right,
racetrack.
right.
I think you want all the performance. Otherwise, it's not, if you're not looking for that raw, visceral performance and knife edge feel of just knowing everything that's going on, you don't want a GT3.
Yeah.
They're
right.
stiff, they're harsh, they're noisy.
Yeah.
There's less sound deadening. You
Right.
hear the rocks pinging off the
Right.
fenders and stuff way more. They're darty.
Yeah.
It's you have to want that to want a GT3. It's the excitement, right?
Yeah.
That's all there. But I think you're right. You don't need that. You don't need aero. Probably works at 100 miles an hour, but 120, 130, 140 is where it really starts to
Sure.
change.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a Touring, you probably on the street, you're probably not getting up there that much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If I take a GT3 winged car to breakfast
yeah,
on Sunday, I get a ton of thumbs up,
Yeah.
people asking about it, and that's fun for me, right? Because I love talking about what I do and all that stuff. If I take a GT3 Touring to breakfast on Sunday, no one really asks about it.
yeah,
Because they don't know what it is. So, but I do get the different mindset is not everybody wants to know, so an expression, one of my favorite expressions was from one of our very good clients here, a guy that real well. This is a long, long time ago. He almost got me killed because he was driving a McLaren. It was an MP12 4C or MP4 12C.
There it is.
And there were he was behind, he didn't know this, but he was behind me. And there were these two kids on motorcycles riding side by side with him, which was quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Right. And he didn't want the motorcycles next to him. Well, anyway, his way is like he tried to get away from them. So he wound up ripping around me and the motorcycles wind up ripping around me. And I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And anyway, I see him pull up in that car a day or two after this happens. Like, dude, were you going down, Quebec or, whatever, the other day around Whole Foods, this time period? Yeah, that was me. It's like, dude, you almost got me killed by two kids in motorcycles. Yeah. He's like, no, I know the exact time, that you're talking about. And that was super annoying. I did not feel comfortable. I didn't like that at all either. And then what came about of that conversation, he says, I like talking about my car, but I don't like talking about my car every time I stop to get gas. And I get that, right? And so that's where the Touring really comes into play.
Yep.
As far as I have this amazing car, but it's not that recognizable to the to the common public.
Yep.
And so I'm not going to get stopped everywhere.
Yeah, doesn't have a race car wing.
Yeah.
Which I think also the 991 Touring looks more like a normal 911
Yes.
than the 992 Touring.
Yeah. Well,
The front bumper's different. It's got these big crazy nostrils, and
Yeah.
they both have air extraction on the front bumper, but the 992 it's just way more aggressive.
Right.
So that also makes me think. So basically, this whole conversation started, I think, for a couple of reasons. We've got some cool GT stuff here right now, but we've got a client that's looking at getting rid of. He already got rid of a BMW M3, and he's about to sell a 997 GT3. So he's got cash in the bank to get into some kind of newer GT3.
Right.
And we've had a lot of conversations about it. And what we've kind of both decided is that on a 991, the spec that we would want would be a touring, which defaults to manual with comfy seats. And then from there, just the coolest one we could find.
Yeah.
We would pick the comfy seats though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And on,
It's a touring.
yeah.
It's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the 992 generation, we would lean towards a wing car with buckets because that's just, it feels like it fits the
Yeah.
car better. It's, it's probably the closest thing to a 997 RS 4-liter that they've made.
Yeah.
Right. It's a manual. It's wicked fast. It's got the 4-liter. It's got 500 horsepower.
Yes.
It's hyper aggressive. I don't know that it's, I don't have enough seat time in a 4-liter to be able to compare the driving experience. But on paper, those are very similar ethoses in what you're trying to develop.
We go out to dinner.
Yeah.
You and I.
Yeah, we do.
We tried to have dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I would consider you and Lauren to be foodies.
Yeah, 100%.
You enjoy food.
Dude, look at me. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're able to pick out flavors, right? And I don't know, there is something they say out there, but how much you eat with your eyes, and you smell it, that kind of stuff. So like the plate gets served in front of you, and obviously it's a visual thing, and then you smell it, and then you taste it, right? And then you can rate it, whatever you want to do. Cars are absolutely no different than that.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that I've said this before, when you walk into your garage, you need to be excited about what you're driving. To your point, as far as comfy seats in a touring, full bucket seats in a winged car, when you walk up to your car, visually seeing it with that big gooseneck wing on the back, I expect it to be a race car.
Yep.
It's visually appealing. And so I already have, mentally prepared, for what I'm getting into. And when I see the sport bucket seats in there, yes, I know I'm getting into a race car, essentially. And I'm going to drive it differently. I'm going to treat it differently, and I'm going to get what I want out of it. And the touring, right, nice and sleek, right? I got the performance, but it's the easy ingress and egress, right, where it's got the comfy seats, all that kind of stuff. So absolutely, I think it fits the car, just exactly what you're describing. It's good. It's great stuff.
So if you have a 991 wing car or a 992 touring, you should get rid of them right now.
Sell them
to us.
Sell them to us.
Sell them to us so we can change our minds.
I like Static 1117 991 GT3 Touring tops my wish list, and the wife approves.
Yeah.
Well, hang on to your seat, buddy. I don't know that we want to give pre-first dibs yet. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I like that engine a lot because it's got, it's streetable at low RPM, but it's not fast. We were talking about this earlier, how like you really got to wring its neck and get it past basically up to 6,000 RPM before it feels like a fast car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's quick anyway, but it really starts to get fast at that point. And so if you're driving it lazy and revving to 4, you're not going to scare yourself.
Yeah.
Little part throttle, getting up, it's not going to get away from you at all. And I think that makes it fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. So tomorrow we're delivering this Honda S2000 that set the internet on fire for a few days.
Yep.
And so I was back in the shop. I didn't get to go in the shop this morning because something was going on, and that's my normal routine. I was here so early that I was like before they were ready for me, and because I visit with the guys in the shop, especially here in with Jason and Garrett at this shop at the Pre-Owned building. So I got to visit with him this afternoon, and we were talking about the S2000. And I remember when that car came out, because I was graduating high school, going to tech school, the Honda S2000, some fun, interesting things about it. It was the most horsepower per liter car, most horsepower per liter production car, road going car, I guess. And there was different engine variants, between the U.S. and Japan. These were a 2-liter engine, making 126 horsepower per liter. That's pretty impressive.
That's good.
That's pretty good. And we started kind of laughing about stuff. It's 11.2 to 1 compression ratio. So meaning premium fuel only.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? You got to have that stuff. And then, a fun thing about the S2000 is it revs to 9,000 RPM.
Yeah. What a magic number.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yep.
Right? That's the fun part about the car. I did not realize, and I kind of knew that the car is gutless in the low RPM range, right? I know.
But it's kind of gutless.
Well, in general, for the size of car, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really not. It does get up and go. It starts making power. It's 6,200 RPM.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So if you're not at or above 6,000 RPM, it will not get out of its own way. So to keep it from 6 to 9,
Yeah.
that reminded me of the GT3 Touring, like the 991, where as far as if you have a manual transmission, 2018 GT3 Touring, you kind of putz around, right? Anywhere from, let's just call it idle, let's say 850 RPM,
Yep.
all the way up to 2,900 RPM, or even call it 3,500 RPM. You just kind of putz around. Once you get that car to 4,000 and above, then you start moving around.
Yeah, it's more than that. I think it's, that car is 6 to 9. It's just like the S2000.
Yeah, it is.
Get it 6 to 9 and that's happy.
It's kind of crazy because everyone wants to put the SharkWorks center bypass exhaust system on it, which makes it sound amazing, right?
Yep.
I mean, just absolutely amazing. Your neighbors are going to know every time you leave the house and every time you're coming home
Yep.
for miles away. Miles away. It's just fact.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
No, I don't personally.
It's a good sound.
It is a good sound.
Yeah.
However, I'm also the guy that as I turn into my neighborhood, I turn my radio down. They can't hear my radio. I just turn it down. Right? So I'm very conscious, right? I love my neighborhood. I really do.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy the people, all that stuff. So I'm just very, just enter and exit very quietly as much as I can.
I'll remember that.
Next time you're over.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think you have my address. That's fine.
I won't read it off on air. So, did we cover enough of that?
I don't know. Did we?
I don't know.
Like it's
People are here listening. So,
yeah. It's about 30 minutes worth.
yeah.
Yeah. What else do you want to cover? I think bang for your buck. So I mean, on the topic of GT3s, you
Yep.
know what we were looking at is 2018 GT3 Tourings versus 22 GT3 Tourings, for that matter, and the difference. Miles, years, and the difference of payment.
Yeah.
Of
Yep.
what they cost, and it's what would you rather drive? Screw it. Let's go like super first. Super pre-dibs, and we're acquiring a car. It's a 2007 911 Turbo.
Yeah. With everything.
Manual transmission,
Short shift kit.
sport shifter from the factory.
Yep.
Which they did away with. Right.
Because it was too awesome. That's why.
Those people from your neck of the woods kept breaking their shit.
Because it was too cold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't get it into first gear.
So they did it away. They did away with it as coming from the factory. You had to add it after the fact. Anyway,
Carrara white.
Carrara white, not metallic. It's just Carrara white.
Really? I
Yes.
didn't know there was a difference.
Yes.
Wow. There you go. Let's see. what else.
Natural leather brown, like natural brown leather interior.
Yep.
So it's kind of a dark brown.
Leather.
It's a coupe.
Leather headliner.
Leather headliner. Leather wrapped rear view mirror.
Leather wrap dome lights
Leather, not lights, but dome light controls. Yes. Sport bucket seats.
with painted sport backs.
That's right.
Well, this is pretty good. We're doing a good back and forth thing. We don't even have any notes in front of us.
Leather exhaust.
True. Leather inner door sills,
Yes.
illuminated door sills.
Illuminated ceramic brakes.
Ooh, good one. Sport Chrono Package Plus.
Yes.
Extended navigation.
Leather wrapped seatbelt buckles.
I saw that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either. Yeah. Painted side skirts.
Painted lip spoiler. Painted
Am I out?
diffuser.
Am I out? I don't know if I have any more.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a ton of stuff,
Yeah.
right? It's loaded.
Marrakesh wood.
Macassar.
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 Macassar
So
steering
real.
wheel,
Yes.
e-brake,
Yeah.
leather wrapped gauge cluster.
Yes. Yeah. A Carrara white instrument cluster face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you believe we've been talking about the options on that thing for and 33 or 34,000 miles?
33,000 miles. Yep. 2007 911 turbo, not S, right? But
Yeah, they didn't make
ceramics.
S's then.
They built it
Yeah.
like an S. They knew
Yeah.
that it was coming.
I think there is a lot of built up value in that car.
There's a ton of value.
Yep.
Clean DME report is what I'm told. Meaning,
That's good.
nothing
Hasn't been
override.
revved to oblivion.
And most likely, and to me, by looking at the history of the car, it really is a seasonal car, just based on the mileage of
Yeah.
when it's being driven. It's a vacation home. So the car started new in Florida. It went up to Canada. It's remained in Canada for however long, and then now it's coming back.
Yeah. I think.
But okay, so what we determined is that this car, well, what is we don't typically throw out numbers, on this car or on the
Any
show.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, that we do. But what would you anticipate that this car would be listed, should sell for?
I was thinking like 160 grand because I've never seen one built so well.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah. It just seemed like an absolutely massive thing. And I'm expecting it wasn't someone's first Porsche.
Correct.
Right? You don't order it with all of that. You don't even know to order it with all
Right.
of that stuff the first time. So originally ordered by somebody that really knew what they were doing, what they were talking about. Seems like it probably was in a long-term home where they knew. So I'm expecting it to come in really, really nice.
I think it's a one-owner car.
Oh, wow.
I think it's they split between
Yeah.
Florida and Canada because in the place that it is in Canada is beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. And it's very high end, very highfalutin, kind of stuff. So I think
Saskatchewan?
they moved it. No, I think they moved it from Florida to Canada. I'm pretty sure it's been under the same ownership.
Well, that makes me even more confident in my price. And which that is all of the money in the world for one of those. But find another one.
Oh, yeah,
Like
it's not out there.
with half of those options.
I was looking today.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. The New York guys have one that's got like 6 options on it.
Yeah.
Including a,
oh yeah,
a
those New
CD
York
changer.
guys. They bought the Targa 4 GTS and they're
Yeah.
like,
Never mind.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I can do that. Tools.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. But they have one. Little lower mileage. They want 120 for it.
And they have no options.
It has no options.
Yeah.
So
It's silver.
Which-
They have a silver and a gray one with the same stupid options.
yeah, wrong
And-
seats
Yeah. Yeah.
and definitely not a leather headliner.
Right. No. And they're known to ask more than market,
Yep.
just because they're like, we're going to corner the market on these.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're cornering the market on low option 997s. That's awesome. Thank you, because that leaves all the cool stuff for us.
God, I I was trying to see if I could somehow figure out how to finance it for 120 months or something like that.
I'm
and
super
I still
excited.
can't.
I'm super
But-
excited to see this. Now, I think, to be honest with everybody out there, I think John's a little rich
Yeah.
as far as what he thinks it could sell for.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, right? I mean, once it gets here and I see it in person, I say, oh my God, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. I think it's going to be unbelievable.
It is, yeah. And it could be a collection car for sure. So anyway.
Too bad that Jan Coombs sold his white collection. Wasn't that him?
Yeah, we could sell to him.
Yeah.
But I guess where we were going with this conversation is, let's say John's a little rich. Let's say this is a $150,000 car, not a $170,000 car.
Okay.
What else in the realm for $150,000 are you able to buy? A lot,
Yeah.
right? A lot.
Yeah.
A 2014 GT3, which is a great car.
I'd take the turbo.
I would take the turbo as well. Oh, this is a manual.
This specific
you
turbo.
did say this was a manual.
Yeah, you
right?
did.
Yeah.
Short shift kit.
Oh, yeah. Sport shifter. Yep. Yeah, manual transmission. So we have a 2014 GT3 that's like 145 or 139.
You could have a black delivery mile 992 manual T with the aero kit.
Yes. Hey, Chuck just commented. Holy
Man, look at that.
Chuck, don't spoil it for everybody. Son of a bee.
Yeah. This is what we get for sharing the links.
Dang it.
Yeah. Shoot ourselves in the foot on that.
Who told you about
Yeah.
this show?
I guess we have to give them more on the trade value now. But no, you're right. Like it's a ton of money for a car.
It's a lot of money.
Just to put that straight out there. But the 997 turbo, like that seems like value at that point.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing value. That is a ton of car. All-wheel drive, ceramic brakes, manual transmission, coupe, great discontinued color, by the way, both
Yep.
interior and exterior.
Yep.
And then they built it to the, moon.
Yeah.
The only thing they left off was a rear wiper. But whatever, I will forego
Yeah.
the rear wiper,
Maybe it was standard on the 997.
It was not.
I know. Should have been.
No, I'm super excited to see that car.
Yeah, that's a tough one because, if it was a GT3, an 07 GT3 with all of those options, it would be probably priceless because the GT3s weren't, those options, that kind of stuff wasn't available on a 997 GT3,
Yeah,
right? To find one with leather
Yeah.
was rare.
Yeah.
Let alone the rest of the stuff. So I don't know.
So what we were talking about earlier was the 991.2 GT3 Touring and the 992 wing car.
Yeah.
They're very close, right? As far as what you could buy one
Values,
for.
yep.
Yeah, values for. And so we have a difference of opinion there, which is awesome.
And I think I would like to put it to the test and throw some cameras
should.
in the cars
Yeah.
and go drive, I guess, maybe Chuck's GT3 and Grigio Telesto GT3
Yeah.
with the wing
Right.
up to the entrance to Pikes Peak and back.
Yeah, Diego, this is Porsche Colorado Springs. If you look
Yeah.
if you look us up on Instagram, it's Porsche Colorado.
Yep. Don't bother that. Just text me directly.
So no, okay, so 991.2 GT3 Touring and 992.1, right? GT3s or Touring,
Yeah.
for that matter. I think that's fantastic because you love the look, the shape of the 991.2.
Yeah, way prettier. Yep.
I kind of agree with you there.
It's more 911.
It is.
The newer ones, the nose slopes down a little more. It's a little more supercar-y, which is great for its purpose.
Sure.
But I think the difference between a normal 911 and a GT3, the gap is growing.
Yes.
a little bit in not just performance and ethos, but like just the look.
Yeah. So you like the 992 GT3?
I love all of them. I mean, come on.
Well, duh.
But-
I mean, but you. So to James May's point, is now is better than what it was 20 minutes ago, right? So meaning like everything new is better than what it was then, and not to say that you would necessarily agree with that, but you've been really consistent on the 992 GT3 is an amazing car, and it is. I agree with that. And you've told me that you would take a 992 over a 991 version.
It's a very hard decision.
It is a tough decision.
I think. But the way I'm looking at it is you've got, a low mile 991 touring in terms of its delta between its original MSRP and what it's selling for today is there's more overage per se on that car than there is on a winged 992.
Yeah.
So, ultimately the 992 is going to be priced a little higher because the whole price of those cars was higher.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm starting to feel like maybe there's a little value in those if you're looking for this stuff. And don't even talk about GT4s.
Yeah. I remember. Okay. So what popped up? Oh my God. You just totally put it in my brain. So just today, John Deisty here brings up to me that on Bring a Trailer currently is a 2018 GT3 Touring in Brewster Green, metallic.
Yep. It's one of our alumni cars.
It's an alumni car. We had it twice. One of the former owners is coming in tomorrow with me, right? And then another former owner watches this show and listens to it.
Yep.
Awesome. Like they're fantastic people. And the guy that either owns it now and is selling it on Bring a Trailer, or for whatever reason, but the next owner after the two local guys, he traded in a 992 GT3. I'm remembering this story now. Okay. And it was a winged car, or it may not have been. Anyway, it was a 992 GT3 is what he traded in. And this is when 992 GT3s were really new.
Yep.
And I had asked him, I said, I have to ask, why are you trading in the brand new car for the previous version? And he said, he goes, this might sound ridiculous, but I had a 2018. I had a previous gen before, and I really miss how visceral that car is compared to the new car. That's the only reason that he traded the new one in.
Huh.
He just loved that the 2018 was more raw to him than what the new car was. He wound up with the new car by accident. Like
That's
it was
really.
But I get it because, when you think about it, if you go all the way back to the 996 GT3, that is way more raw than anything that we have now. And
Sure.
cars that you and I agree
They
that
get
we are,
more refined.
that we are both pining for
Yep.
is the 996.1 GT3.
Yeah, I want to try that.
Which actually, we have a French connection now.
Are they bringing it here?
This dude's going to find cars for us.
There you go.
Yes.
Let's get one.
Not only the GT3, but the RS.
I want the Taco Wing 99 or 98 GT3.
So
that sounds like a cool thing.
because of my past with Porsche, I've been super fortunate to be able to have experience in pretty much all of the GT3 generations that we've had.
Yep.
I had a 996 GT3 for a weekend for a fuel pump issue, right? That we were trying to sort out. Was able to get it fixed.
Be a .2 though.
It would be a .2.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. And I will tell you, and I will say it live right in this show. This was a Guards red car with some red accents and stuff, and
Yeah.
I would take that 996 GT3 over any GT3 that we've ever had here,
Wow.
hands down.
Kind of like your first girlfriend, huh? Well, I just mean there's something super special about the first time you're experiencing something, right? I had asked you.
Yes, but this is not a never meet your heroes kind of story. This is firsthand experience.
You don't want me to meet your girlfriend?
Is she a hero?
I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
No, this is not a meet your heroes. Like don't never meet your heroes. I have experience in this car, and as far and this car had like sport seats in it. Not a full bucket seat kind of thing. The 996, the one that I had for the weekend. You're right. I mean, I was young. I was kind of stupid. However, mature enough to where they had me take this car, for an extended period of time. It's a car. It's like the 79 SC, right? Where our very good friends, right, that wound up with that car.
With yours.
Yes. They said, we'll give you first right of refusal if we ever decide to get rid of it. It's never going to be the same again. Like, and not saying that, they took it and they changed things or whatever, but it's a firsthand experience. I would never want that car back again just because it's been there, done that.
Yeah.
That
You don't
kind
look
of thing.
back.
Right. Exactly. Just keep looking forward. The 996 GT3, it's kind of a same experience where it's like, no, I don't know. I experienced it. It was amazing, right? At the time, that's a car I would totally take back.
Well, that makes me want to try it even
There's
more.
nothing on the road today that compares to that car. Hands down. Hands down.
Not even a 2022 WRX?
No.
All right.
Nope.
Suspension's too stiff. It's too loud.
Right.
Man, my shifter sucks though.
What is or Spider RS? What is that referring to?
Well, I just think when we're talking about all these cars, like we were talking about how there's a ton of value in a GT4 RS.
Oh, sure.
And a Spider RS.
Oh my
same
gosh.
story. I mean, those cars
Oh my gosh.
are trading much closer to MSRP than they've ever been.
And it's only going to go up from here.
That would be my my thought.
Yeah.
I think those cars are undervalued.
Very much so.
I'm really sad that they didn't take the opportunity to do a manual GT4 RS.
Yeah, I don't know. The car's just got so much performance, though.
Yeah, I know, but who cares?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yep.
No, I agree with you. I think
Or even the Spider RS.
Spider RS,
If the Spider RS would have been a manual only.
that'd be a pretty sick car.
Yeah, I know.
We were talking just early this morning as far as in the world of, call it sport roadsters, what is there today? So there's the Boxster. I mean, obviously you have the Boxster, but just call it the Boxster, whether it's the Spider, Spider S, or Boxster. You have the Mazda MX-5 or the Miata, I guess. You have a BMW Z4. Mm-hmm. What else do they make today that is a roadster, a sport roadster? That's all we could think of. And when you think about it, I mean, comparing those, I mean, obviously the Porsche is going to be more fun than all of those.
Yeah, but
right?
Also you could have 5 Miatas or a Spider. So you could start your own Miata Cup.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, the Spider still wins out, I think.
yeah,
But
I think so too.
I mean, you talk about an unique market. That's the fewest cars I can think of, right? I mean, as far as that's a pretty bizarre market.
Yeah,
to be in.
is there a 400Z convertible?
I don't think so.
And Mustang and Camaro, those are rental cars.
They're not roadsters.
Not really roadsters.
These are true two-seaters.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's side conversation.
Is there a Mini convertible?
Yes, but not
That doesn't
roadster.
count either?
No. Okay. So anyway, we're getting sidebarred. I think so. For what's out there, you know, what you had mentioned earlier is cross shopping is really difficult.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when you get in the housing market, right? Now, granted, living in Colorado, it's a little bit skewed right now, but let's say you get in the housing market of $750,000
Okay.
to $900,000. There is a lot
Yeah.
right? There is a lot of opportunity there, or however you want to look at it, right? There's a lot of possibilities there to move into a house. And then either side of that, let's say you move down to a $450,000 house, there's still a lot of houses, right? But it's like, what are you getting for your money? In the $450,000 housing market, they're probably they're very similar. They're very similar homes.
Okay.
In the $750,000 to $900,000 homes, there's some vast differences, of what you're getting for
Yeah,
your
you could
money.
have like horse property with a tiny house.
Yeah.
Or you could have some kind of condo downtown where you maybe had one parking spot
Right.
and no land.
Yeah. The thing is, you're opening up, right? Like, how much different possibility is there in this certain range? Well, right now, very weirdly enough, in the Porsche world, from $150,000 to $200,000, there is a really big range of cars, right, that you can have. And I think it really boils down to what matters to you. What are you going to have the most fun with? And I think it really doesn't matter whether you choose a $150,000 car or a $250,000 car. They're actually kind of the same, really, but it's what does it boil down to? What do you find exciting? We have a 2012 Carrera 4 GTS Coupe, manual transmission, 54,000 miles for $129,000.
Yeah.
And I think that car is worth it
Yeah, I do too.
all day long. It's beautiful. It's immaculately maintained, right? It's a super fun car. We have a 2014 GT3, right?
Yeah.
Different caliber car for $139,000
Yep.
or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, I think they're the same price.
The GT3 is a little more.
Okay.
But regardless, let's say there's a $10,000 spread.
Yeah.
What do you go with?
C4 GTS.
That'd be a hard car to pass up
Yeah.
because it's a manual, naturally aspirated.
And
And
we haven't had another one.
the generation of car by itself is incredibly difficult
Yeah.
to find.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if you lump the white turbo in on that whole platform too, that's tough.
Yeah. I like Jason's comment here. 450K is an ex-meth lab house in Denver. Actually, if it's in Denver proper, believe it or not, Jason, it's $734,000.
Yeah.
Because that is the median home price, I think
Yeah.
it is in Denver. And the median home is a meth lab.
Yeah. It's crazy. The world is crazy. Vince de Grinch. If you're talking about a Tribute GT3 RS, we sold probably 7 of those, something like that. None have become available
Right.
again. I can think of one that is in a collection that the guy likes to drive them, but also turn them. So if I had to predict, I would say in the next year and a half, we would have a white with green wheel GT3 RS.
Yeah. No, I could see that. And then let's see what else.
Should we do a little showroom walk since there's new people looking? And
gotta
then we'll
pair up
call
your
it a
phone.
day.
You
No,
get-
I'll just bring this one around and we'll just walk.
and I'll just
We'll
talk.
just talk and I'll make
Yeah,
faces.
grab it and I'll just talk.
And then just sign off when you're done.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.
John's going away. So now here I am. Yeah, in my purple people eater uniform. All right, John's going to show. We got a couple of race cars that have been sitting right behind us here. There is our 2024 911 Turbo S coupe with the tent on it. The S2000 that John just showed there, that's being delivered tomorrow. There's more story to follow behind that car, and I would love to share that story with you. This is the 2016 911R that John, ironic, put a sign in it just here tonight. And yeah, thank you very much, Chuck, for tuning in. That's super special. 1966, unrestored pure survivor 911. So the first actual year of the 911 is 65. 64s are considered prototypes. This car, the front seat covers were replaced at some point in its life, but believe it or not, all that wood on the steering wheel, the dash, everything is completely 100% original to the car. Those cocoa mats in the car are actually really special because they're one piece that you can't find those. That's a brand new Macan 4S that's in gray, a 2023 Turbo S Coupe that is being delivered this weekend. There's our tent. We'll see some videos coming out on Instagram about that. That is on a vinyl wrapped 2024 Turbo S. The Turbo S is actually Carrara white metallic, and then they put this pearl vinyl wrap on top of it. I think it looks gorgeous. It's a very secret 997 GT3 RS that's hidden below that black car cover back there. Our GT4 Club Sport Track Day car that's actually available, and then obviously the GT4 RS that is available for sale. That car, that is the cleanest race-ready GT4 RS you're ever going to find on this planet. This black one that John has, this is a GT3 RS, brand new. This car is still on MSO. It's got roughly 20 miles on the odometer. The next one to it is a GT Silver, also still on MSO GT3 RS that's available. Hopefully we'll sell that one this weekend. This is a white GT3 RS with the super cool like blue indigo wheels. This one is one of our Canadian pre-owned cars that has CPO warranty that shows roughly 40 miles on the odometer. Has Alcantara, or it's not Alcantara anymore, it's Racetex. Yellow stitching throughout. I mean, a ton of leather in that car. And then we have the Turbo S, kind of a homologation car. This is actually a hybrid Vonnen system car that John is showing here. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's legitimately 1,000 horsepower when you turn it up all the way. And it's a street legal. It's a road going car. There is our Speed Yellow collection, Singer DLS. Can't say enough about that car. The original Speed Yellow car of the collection called Bob, that is that 2002 911 Turbo with a Tiptronic X50 package, quite possibly the very first X50 Tiptronic car on the planet. And then the Speed Yellow 911 ST that John just like glanced over there, that is part of our Speed Yellow collection as well. And then we have a Lizard Green GT3 RS 2016 that we've sold 3 times. This will be our 4th time that we're selling that car. And then our Speed Yellow Hood from a few years ago, that was our 100th running of Pikes Peak with everybody signing it that had anything to do with Porsche. And then here I am again. So, you know what? I'll give it up to those guys that did the Daytona 500 this last weekend, because they were on air for 15 hours. Commentating. And John, I did that for all of about 45 seconds. I can't imagine doing it for 15 hours.
Next time you take the camera.
You got anything to add?
We got to get Lewis down here to run camera.
We do. We have to get Lewis.
And you can watch up there.
And giant props. I mean, big shout outs to Pat, our photographer, Patrick, our lot tech, and Toby, our lot tech. Those guys are knocking it out of the park. I mean, they're kicking ass here. If anybody has noticed that we've got different things happening on Instagram and our website, please thank Pat, our photographer. Super cool, great guy, right? Doing amazing things. And he really, really cares about what he's doing and making it look good and being fun, making it very exciting. And I know that people are noticing just by the amount of likes, right, that the Instagram stuff is getting. It's really, really cool stuff.
I'm excited for our remake of Brokeback Mountain with the tent.
So if you don't have anything else to add.
I don't have anything else to add. Vinch, the 3RS is not available. Super ultra cool car.
Yeah, not available. Let's see here. What do we got to get? Let's see. John sleep in the tent. Like those wheel colors.
Everything I've been saying, I had my microphone off.
Bikes turned off
Thank
again.
goodness nobody heard my comment about
Yeah.
the mountain.
Need Lewis for tech assistance. Oh, not tomorrow, but the following Saturday is our Porsche Classic swap meet, our Classic Tauschstreffen 2025. So please be sure to come by for that. And if you have stuff to sell, please register so you can get a table and a booth for that. That's going to be a ton of fun. We have a very busy, very packed 2025 with the 356 registry along with our own stuff. Everything's coming together. It's going to be a super fun year. We'll put it all on a calendar at some point. But the immediate one is our Porsche Classic Tauschstreffen 2025 happening March 1st. So please stop by for that. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Bring your keys.
Bring your keys
For the first
and bring your wallets.
podcast. I'm John. That's Justin. Thanks to all of our new watchers and listeners, and